Hello then, let's go through the second part, last two questions of this C1 paper, which in all fairness hasn't been too tricky up until now, but we are moving towards the end of the paper. We haven't done any 6 markers yet, so let's see how we get on. Limestone is a natural form of calcium carbonate. Explain why calcium carbonate can be used to treat waste gases produced in coal-fired power stations. 2 waste gases you should know from there, CO2 and sulfur dioxide. And it's actually the sulfur dioxide that we use calcium carbonate to treat. So, let's tell the story of what happens. So, impurities in the coal form sulfur dioxide when burnt. This is acidic and can be neutralized by CaCO3, calcium carbonate. So we've got neutralized acidic limestone, impurity sulfur dioxide. There's 4 marks for 3 there. Okay, if calcium carbonate is heated strongly, it decomposes to calcium oxide and calcium carbonate like the balanced equation. So this is asking you, do you know the formulas for these? And if you do, you'll very quickly realise it's heated strongly, decomposes with nothing else, CaO or CO2, and that balances in its own right. 2 marks. That's the equation number 2 we've had to write on this paper, isn't it? A few drops of water added to a lump of calcium oxide, which is not correct. Steam is formed, that does happen. The white powder is produced, that does happen. The lump cools down, no, it gets warmer. It's a lie, so that is your answer. Right, 6 marker, first 6 mark, let's have a look at you. Limestone is a sedimentary rock. Marble is a metamorphic rock. Granite is an igneous rock. Explain how the 3 rock layers are formed. When you come to 6 mark, in your head you're thinking, right, where are my paragraphs going to be on this answer? And this one is done nicely for us. You've got limestone, 1 paragraph, marble, another paragraph, granite, another paragraph. So, let's do limestone. Limestone is formed when sediment and shells fall to the bottom of the ocean. These different layers build up over time. So we've got the layers building up, so then we've got to get this idea of them being squeezed and compacted together by pressure, and that's what we'll do last sentence. Pressure builds as number of layers increase and the layers compact to form sedimentary rock, to form limestone. Use the example they gave us. Paragraph number 1, nailed it. If you're looking at keywords, sediment, any words that you'd find outside a classroom. Pressure, compact. Right, next paragraph. Marble. Marble is limestone that undergoes extreme heat and pressure. And that's what we need to write. Not in the business of writing stuff that we need to write. I mean, that is how metamorphic rock is formed with extreme heat and pressure. I suppose you could say the heat comes from the magma, but that's fine. And then lastly then, so we've got igneous rock. So granite, So igneous rock is formed by magma cooling down. Two types of igneous rock, intrusive and extrusive. Extrusive cools quickly, forms large, small crystals. Granite, intrusive rock, solidifies slower, smaller crystals, bigger crystals. Sorry. Right. So, magma cools down to, shall we say, to form granite. Granite is an intrusive rock, which means the crystals formed will be large. But if you didn't know it was an intrusive rock, you could just put the property of igneous rocks is crystals. Okay, and it's coming from magma. So you can still pick up 4 marks without saying that. It's absolutely fine. Right, last question then, people. Carbon compounds over this way. Put a cross in the box next to your answer. What's the question? Sorry. Read the question first. Which of these is formulated as a molecule of a hydrocarbon? So which is a hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbons, the clue is in the name, people. Hydrogen and carbon only. Oxygen, chlorine, CH hates this. Is you on? If you want that confirmation of being right, no. Right, draw the structure molecule propene. It's give you the formula. That's good. Propene is ene, so it's got an equal sign in. It's got 2 e's in. That means it's got a double bond in, and you should all know now that propene looks like 6. See, even now I still check it just to get right. I've got 6 H's, that's right. I've got 3 C's, that's right. I'm going to do a quick check. 4 lines from each C, 1 line from each H. 1, 2, 3, 4, correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, correct. Let's move on. Got those 2 marks bagged. Methane burns in oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. Write the balanced equation for this. It's number 3 equation here, people. You haven't had to balance one yet, but this one you do have to balance. CH4 plus oxygen gives you H2O plus CO2. That is not balanced currently. If you want to go through the whole process, you look at what you've got this side. How many have you got? 1, 4, 2, 2, 3, 1. So we've got an imbalance. We've got an imbalance of hydrogen. So let's balance that up. Let's put a big 2 there. Trial and error. So now I've got 4. I've got 2 there plus 2. I've got 4 in total there now. Carbons haven't changed. This side, my hydrogens are balanced now. Brilliant. My oxygens aren't. Let's change that. That then becomes 4. And my carbons are absolutely fine. Okay, turn over. Last question of the paper, people. 6 marker, of course. And it is an advantage, disadvantage 1. So let's have a look. Natural gas is mainly methane. A gas with similar composition known as biomethane can be produced from plants growing specifically for this purpose. Advantage and disadvantages of using biomethane rather than natural gas as a source of energy. So what's the advantage and disadvantage of this? So again, where my paragraph's going to come. I haven't even read that too, but you've got it in front of you, so it shouldn't matter. So first paragraph, let's just tackle the advantages. Second paragraph, let's tackle the disadvantages. So, first thing, biomethane is a renewable energy resource, making it's sustainable. It's my phone going off. I'm going to ignore it because you're of more importance. But it is a renewable energy resource, making it sustainable. Lovely. Do we need to explain that any further? No. That's nice and concise. Let's leave it there. This means it is carbon neutral, as the carbon it takes in through photosynthesis is released through combustion. That's the advantages. It is mainly that one. The fact that you're not using, that's physical for that. Also, this method does not use non-renewable resources. That really is said in the first one. It's a bit repetitive, but we'll put it in there. And then you're looking at the next paragraph, the disadvantages. However, let's use a nice little connective. The disadvantages, let's just put one. However, one disadvantage of biomethane is it requires lots of land. So why is that a problem? Let's talk about that. This land could be otherwise used for farming or houses. Good, excellent. So let's write one more, and that is, with all these renewables, is the unreliability. So what happens if we get a bad season in terms of weather? The crop's not going to be very good, so therefore the amount you're going to get is less. So it's the unreliability. So lastly, furthermore, another nice connective look here. Biomethane is unreliable as it depends on good weather. Done. That is E1 paper, higher paper, start to finish, 60 marks, and I don't think that's too bad, is it? The thing you've got to realise with these papers, people, is that the stuff we learn in class, only a fraction of it gets examined. There's lots of things that are just missing from this paper. So we cannot afford to hedge our bets and be really good at, I don't know, polymers and know everything inside out when it doesn't get examined. So we just need to know all of it, and then the papers like that will smash. Lovely, thank you, goodbye.